Sounds good.
Well, you guys are in Derby right now. Is that your hometown or your home base right now?
Yeah.
Now, what's the music scene currently in Derby like? 'Cause I know currently you guys are unsigned and such. So, I mean, in a way, what's it like for a band like Airstryke to? I mean, what is it that you guys have to do to get your music out there, and what's the process of? I mean, booking gigs and stuff like that. I mean, is it a job in and of itself outside of your day jobs?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'd say Derby as a music scene is quite. I wouldn't say saturated with metal, but there's a lot of it about. But at the same time, that gives us that little kind of avenue to go down.
Because we really stand out.
Yeah. We're not too soft compared to the metal, but we've still got that edge that people are like, hang on, what's this? You know, it's a bit different.
Last year when we were going up and down the country playing every shithole and dive you could get a hold of, we'd end up with the weirdest gigs. It'd be like a punk band and then like a I don't even know what hardcore music is. For me, like, if you want a screamy band, it's Pantera or nothing. You don't need much else. Five Finger Death Punch is pretty cool, Chimera and stuff like that, but like, we'd end up with these sort of bands and then suddenly it'd be us, and that's when we kind of noticed that there's something very infectious in everyone. That, like, when we play Bloodstock, you go to the Bloodstock Festival, everyone's like, yeah, we love brutal metal. That's great. You catch them at 2 o'clock in the morning in the tents, where you can have, like, raves and parties and stuff. They're all singing along to, like, Wild Child and, Europe and stuff like that.
Well, I think it's more of like, culturally it's kind of cool in a way to like those bands, but deep down inside, I think everybody, like you said, you know, behind closed doors or whatever it is, they're singing Wild Child or whatever it is that they're singing. And
everybody owns Appetite for Destruction. I don't care who you are.
I think it's one of those things where it'll come back around, and people basically sometimes are told what they should like and what they want to listen to and stuff, but deep down inside, what they really want, at least what I want, is I want to be able to kick back with my music. Party. You know, I just want the music to sit there. I don't want to be bummed out. I don't want to be depressed. I want to sit there and forget whatever's going on currently in my life, put the music on, and just have a good time. Eat, drink, and doing whatever it is and listening to the music and having a good time. And I think, like I said this before, that's exactly what your album comes across as. It's just a straight-out party rock album that you could put on, and knowing that it's playing in the background or what have you, you're going to have a good time and a good party. So,
what we'd call in England like a Friday night thing to put on as you're getting yourself tired up to go downtown, sort of thing. Like, crack on some good tunes really loud, get some drinks, get your mates together. Get yourself together and get off down to a club or whatever the hell's going on, if there's a gig on or whatever.
So I want to ask you guys, the name of the album is No Half Measures. Is there like a growing problem in the United Kingdom about people just drinking half measures of alcohol, and you guys are trying to put an end to that?
Not really. Well, there's always going to be bullshit in the media about drinking. To be honest, part of me kind of wants the media to sort of kind of push towards us as some big evil. Like, they had the Dirty Dozen in the 80s with loads of bands that you shouldn't let your kids listen to in America. And if they want to do that, I'm quite happily going to sit there winding them up with as much sort of stupidity and drinking and like, 7 o'clock in the morning at like some Labour Party meeting, me down in bottles of whiskey and stuff. I know it's kind of immature and childish and stupid, but it would be fun to sort of play that game because Ozzy said it, and there's no such thing as bad publicity.
That is true. That is true.
I can't remember what your question was. I started waffling. So
I was asking you if there was a half measure problem in the UK, because your album's called No Half Measures. So you guys are obviously the whole measure, right? Not half.
You guys do things to the extreme.
Yeah. No half measures.
That particular phrase comes about, like, if I drink whiskey, like, the measures that you get in a standard is like 25 mil, 500 mil, whatever. Yeah. I can't remember what the hell it is in this country. I just go whiskey, and they pour it into a glass. I don't make the do noise. It depends how drunk I am. I always like to get pint glasses and drink stuff in pint glasses, no matter what it is. I even drink tea and coffee in pint glasses sometimes. But when it comes to pouring a whiskey, it needs to be a good shot. You need to know what you're drinking. I don't want something that tastes like Coke. I want something that burns the hairs in the back of my throat.
Yeah, I'd say that as well, aside from the whole drinking aspect of it, just the phrase no half measures, we've been doing everything so far in full measures. Like the whole approach to the whole band thing, we've not pussyfooted around. We've gone in head first with everything, you know.
Yeah. Like either head on your head or head on your groin. We went in first.
Yeah. So, yeah, the whole attitude towards the music thing, just no half measures when it comes to it. Otherwise, you're not
mention the fact that we nearly lost Morgan at the beginning.
Yeah, we were going to touch on that. So, Morgan, I wanted to ask you, I mean, was it lymphoma, or what exactly was it that you were diagnosed with?
Yeah, it was
Nasty cough to start off.
Yeah, for about 3 or 4 weeks, the doctors kept sending me off. They were just like, "Oh, take some antibiotics, you'll be fine." And I was like, "Okay, this chest infection isn't going anywhere." And it got a bit worse, and started getting some pains in my chest. And they did an X-ray and found out I had lymphoma. So I had chemo for 6 months, but this was...
Oh, they hacked your heart to start off with.
Yeah, I've got an epic scar, and if anyone asks about the scar, I just say it's a shark attack.
That's
Shark
cool.
attack will work.
That's rock. That's
Yeah,
metal.
because I was reading some of the interviews that during your chemotherapy and stuff, you were sitting there playing the drums and such, keeping yourself busy. So I'm assuming the drum playing and all that was therapeutic in a way. At least that's the way I'm going to look at it. That's what got you through it, and I know your bandmates stuck by you. So
It was absolutely unreal. We'd do gigs where Morgan had done chemo 2 or 3 days before. We understand that medicinal marijuana in America is something that helps with chemotherapy and the sickness and stuff. So we'd just get him really high, stuff him in the back of a car, drive him to the venue, make sure no one coughed and sneezed on him onto the kit, play the gigs he had, bugger all for our immune system, get him back in the car and drive him back, and then he'd sleep for another day. It was pretty intense.
Yeah, I've seen some of his playing on a couple of the videos, and it seems like your playing is just flawless. It's simply amazing to watch you play the drums.
Please second that notion.
Yeah.
well, as a drummer, I mean, who's your influence as far as drum-wise?
John Bonham comes to mind straight away, just because Led Zeppelin have been kind of the backbone of my musical inspiration, but anyone, the whole 80s thing.
Yeah, but there's like funk stuff going on.
Yeah, a lot. I've been listening to a lot of funk the past year or so, and a lot of progressive music as well. But I don't know, the groove of funk comes out a lot in our stuff. If you listen to the drumming, there's always some kind of scrunched up face behind it somewhere. Yeah,
Especially Left Me Cold. That's like our funk track, if you like.
Can't play that and not move. I can't anyway.
Well, you have to, mate.
So I noticed that you guys have the dancing girls on stage already. Is that going to be part of every show you guys do?
The plan is, the bigger the show, the more we can have, is the general gist, the way we can see it. Because logistically on stage, we had a bit of an issue. I don't care if it's the right word, but we had a bit of an issue whereby space and things, so it's like, I was really sort of conscious of my headstock and clocking this chick in the face.
That's what it looked like, too.
It's quite a distraction playing alongside something waving its ass around, but...
Well, I mean, that's a rough life you live. I mean, how do you get by with that?
I play my guitar upright. There's this kickstand that's holding it up.
All right. I mean, it's like I said, I'm just amazed right now that you guys are currently still on sign, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, now are you guys closing in on anything to where you guys might be picking up a label or something like that to better promote the album? Because I know you guys had the album released on Friday. So is there any plans to have it released here domestically in the States as well as in Europe and such?
At the moment is we're trying to do as much as we can for ourselves, by ourselves. So instead of having those little middlemen that kind of promise you the earth and shit on you, it's more a case of, if you're an American, you want our album, we'll try and work out what it's going to cost for like postage, and we'll just send it out from us, the band, to you, the fan, sort of thing.
The album's £10, so whatever it costs for packaging on top of that.
Yeah, 16, 17 American dollars will do the trick.
Yeah, 16, 17. What about iTunes? Have you looked into that yet?
Dick across the ocean.
What did you say, sorry, dude?
I said, did you look into iTunes? Like maybe put some songs up on iTunes?
Yeah, we've been looking into that.
Yeah, well, actually, you don't know about this. Yeah, I've been looking into kind of putting everything on Spotify and iTunes, and even a system where you sort of email the company and they'll just send you a CD. They make it for them and just goes straight off, and the money goes into our bank straight off. So it makes life a little bit easier. So
I mean,
we're on with that too.
We're working with setting up a PayPal account on the website. That'll be the main way to get the album, I reckon, than any other merch. The website, by the way, is Airstryke. That's STRYKE .co.uk.
Yeah, we'll definitely post that on our site. That way the listeners could definitely get directed over there for you. So, but one of the things, too, I mean, you guys self-produced the album as well, too. So what was that experience like? Because that's one of the, that's...
There's a couple of videos on YouTube of us, like what we're getting up to in the studio. It looks like we didn't actually do anything. I promise you we did. You can hear it for yourself. But yeah, we had a great time in the studio.
Definitely, we proved that you can push a good turd.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things I got to say. You guys self-produced this album, and it sounds phenomenal. I've heard a lot of albums now that are produced in studios by well-known producers and such.
You can actually hear all the instruments.
Yes, I mean, I don't know what you guys did, but whatever it is that you guys did, continue doing it because the album sounds great.
Yeah, I like to hear the bass. The bass, your bass player reminds me of Steve Harris of Iron Maiden.
We had a lot of issues with that. With me and Dean were in the original band beforehand, before Airstryke came about, and every recording we ever did, you could like either the snare and bass drum was overpowering and you couldn't quite hear the rhythm, and the bass was always non-existent. And that was one indefinite thing. I wanted to make sure you could hear each and every individual person on the recording.
Well, the job is well done because it came out great, because we can hear all the instruments, which is something I enjoy listening to as far as this type of music, because like so many bands in the 80s, you can never hear the bass in any of the songs. But all you guys are like, you can hear every instrument. It's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.